What is up, guys? So today's video, I'm going to share with you how you can begin to change your own life using the framework of Abraham Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Are you having difficulty entering into a new field? Maybe you're changing sectors with your work. Maybe you're going to college and investing in yourself for the first time. This is going to cover the psychology aspect of what you will be going through and what you will be facing. When you look at the model, it will show you everything laid out, what you're going to expect and what you're going to go through on a psychological level using this framework. I made this so that it will help assist you in understanding what is going to be on the road and what you will see as far as a psychological component to making real life change. So we're going to start this all by looking at the good old model. I'm sure some of you are familiar with it. It's called Abraham Maslow's Hierarchy of Needs. So you see the first two levels are physiological and safety needs. I'm going to assume that if you're watching this video, you already have both of those met already. So we're going to take your attention and draw it over to the psychological needs. We have two psychological needs that are very important for our human development. Number one is the need to belong. We have to feel that we have an affiliation. We have to know that we're loved and we're cared about. We can't escape this. We're born into the world this way, and this is the same thing that is going to play a role when you are transforming your identity into a new identity. Then the next psychological need is going to be self-esteem. This is also going to transform as you step into a new identity and do the actions of this person that's in a new identity. So some of you may have heard of the technique called as if. As if could also be said as you are faking it until you make it. This is a good first step, and a lot of therapy, that's the field that I come from, a lot of therapy talks about this same path, which is called cognitive behavioral. If you change your behaviors, then your thoughts may begin to adjust. So when we change our behavior, all of a sudden, our thoughts begin to also form, and our thoughts also begin to shift. But we can't do this alone because some of our older thoughts, we call these core beliefs or cognitive schemas or scripts, they still stay latent in our subconscious mind. So if we want to make identity level change, we have to access those subconscious beliefs. There are a few ways to do that. You can educate through it, or you can continue those behaviors. The reason I don't suggest just going alone and doing the behaviors is because if you're not critical thinking about the behaviors that you're doing, you're not critical in reflecting those behaviors that you're doing, or you don't have new thoughts or access to new thoughts, you're going to end up doing some self-sabotage because that is your subconscious's way of ensuring your survival. We call this in psychodynamic theory a regression, especially if we have setbacks in our lives or in this new identity that we're having. The temptation is for us to run back to those old ways where we were able to cope, where we were able to order ourselves, and we were able to have predictability. The difference between having our old identity and having our new identity is that it becomes unknown what that new identity is because it's not who we are. So how do we change these thoughts and beliefs? Let me explain the process of what is happening. So say you have family members, you have friends, you have acquaintances, you have neighbors. All of these people exist on the ecosystem that is around you. They have certain assumptions, they have beliefs, and they have thoughts. You can even look at your technology as feeding into this. We have internet cookies. These are all things that are helping you to cultivate what you already believe. This is called a confirmation bias. So you're gonna have confirmation biases readily on access. And all these confirmation biases are going to reflect either that old identity or they're going to reflect that new identity. And where you're at in the process of transforming yourself is going to show if you are fully seeing a confirmation bias of who you're becoming or an old confirmation bias of who you were. Let me explain how your social atmosphere might actually detract from who you are going to be. And we're going to use Maslow's hierarchy of needs to talk about it. So as you see here, you can see it down low. We have the need to belong. When we have a basis for the need to belong as a human being, we have access to unconditional love or some access to love, regardless of the mistakes that we have. We all have it to a varying degree. And we may solidify that with also conditional love. Conditional love that says we have to behave a certain way, and what that's actually doing is ensuring our safety, which is the Maslow's need right underneath. So we are entering into conditioned love, which is going to allow more unconditional love to be there, right? So we can't have unconditional love if we don't have any boundaries or set rules or set assumptions. And you have to think of it like this, because a lot of people get upset when they think about conditioned love and they feel that they have to earn love. Let me explain the difference. If somebody has a hot stove that's on and a baby goes to reach for it, they will burn their hands. It might sound like a shame, or it might sound like conditional love to tell the baby, don't touch that. But that's an act of unconditional love saying, this is what's going to happen if you end up doing this. And we have these all entrained in us based off of the people that are in our immediate surroundings. That's our beliefs about finances. If you touch that, you'll burn. That's our belief about relationships. If you have this conversation, you'll burn. That's having a different career or having different education. If you do that, you'll burn, right? So we have all these unconscious nervous systems and rules and assumptions that are coming on the subconscious level to all of us based off of all the people that are around us in our social atmosphere. So say we're shifting into a new identity, what is happening is that we are now shifting our need to belong, because our old way, we figured out ways to belong with other people. And we have a basis, a general basis. Say I want to be a rock star. If I want to be a rock star, there's already a degree where I'm being accepted, and there's a degree where I have self-acceptance in choosing that destiny for myself. When I tell people in my environment, they either add to that or they don't. The reason why they're not able to capture that need for the need to belong is this one thing. They're not able to do it because they don't belong to that tribe. If a person belonged to, say, the millionaires tribe, they would be able to affirm to you if you belong or if you don't, or what conditions you would need to do in order to belong. But a lot of people, because they don't have that, they feel a sense of alienation. And that alienation can happen because they feel like you are either entering in a new crowd or a new tribe, and they feel alienated, like they don't connect with you, or they might feel that they are inferior to that tribe. Now, all of a sudden, the need to belong gets called into question from both parties. Now both parties are alienated from how they want to conduct their lives. So we're able to meet this need At a certain percentage. Think of it like 70%. We can respect one another. We can see each other. We're still the old person that we've known all this time. But when it comes to a deeper level of identity change and identity belonging, these people in our immediate environment are not going to be able to help us to go from 70% to 100%. That's where we must go on our own. Once we recognize that that belongs to us, we are questioning inside of ourselves, do we belong? And once we understand that, then we can start to move in that cognitive behavioral way. Do I take behaviors that behave like this person? Do I surround myself with people that do belong? Do I change my thoughts from the old way of thinking to the new way of thinking? This is what I'm constantly asking myself as I emerge into this new identity. And how I'm going to emerge into this new identity is through one behavior that will really help you do this. It's called immersion. When you throw yourself into it, it means accepting. It's accepting all that is in that identity. Every single human identity has success and every human identity has failure. So if you are going and immersing yourself in becoming this new identity, that means embracing failure. That means embracing success. And you're not just doing that because these are behaviors and things are happening. You're thinking about them and you're learning them. And then because you're surrounded by people that are in that new identity, you're getting valuable feedback. One of the biggest problems that a lot of people have is that they ask for feedback from people who don't belong to that new tribe. And they need it when they need it the most. It's when their nervous system is triggered. It's when they're freaking out. It's when they're scared. It's when they're uncertain. And all of a sudden, they're being built up in those old ways and they're not aware of it. This all happens on a subconscious level. If you understand how the change process works, then you're able to continue to persevere through it without knowing what the other side's going to look like. And this is how we know we've entered into that next level of psychological need, which is called the self-esteem need. When you're stepping into the self-esteem need, you are personally seeing and judging yourself. How much do I compare to these other people in this identity? Who am I comparing myself to? Am I comparing myself to the people in the old identity? Guess what? I'm not going to grow if I do that. I have to compare myself to the people that belong to the tribe. We can't skip. This is a lot of people have this problem. They try to skip the need to belong and just jump to the self-esteem. They just try to jump over to the self-esteem and that, hey, if I just do all this action, if I just do all these right things, then I can earn the love, then I can finally belong. You belong as soon as you decide to. If you want to be a millionaire, go do it. If you want to go be a fit person, go do it. If you want to change the world or be a philanthropist or run a nonprofit, go do it. As soon as you decide, you become that identity. It's the amount of decisions, the amount of actions that will show and develop your level of self-esteem. Imagine being fully liberated from the old way that you were, the old identity that was no longer serving you, and you became free to enact whatever you wanted to. What's up, guys? This is Patrick. I hope you enjoyed that video. Make sure you leave a like, comment, share it, subscribe to my channel, whatever you want to do. I'm in the business of helping you transform your life from where it was to where you want to take it. Hopefully this video helps you to understand where you can go, and maybe it's planted some seeds on future horizons that you can go to, new people you can surround yourself with. That's the whole point of the video. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you're looking to go deeper, reach out to me, let me know, and I will hold your hand through the process. I've been using psychology techniques for about 3 years now, and I'm here to share some of these gifts with you. If you enjoyed the stuff, subscribe to my channel and check out some of the content that I have for you guys.